Let's take this one man. We're gonna make him do a little bit of yoga. Having a good time. Just, he's having a good time. I'm having a good time. We're having a good time. Now this dude, he's a bit of an extrovert, so we're gonna add some more men, and we're just gonna make them real nice and friendly. Put them all together. Have them have like a big old sleep party, sleepover. Yeah, they're having a sleepover because they're extroverts. They love each other. They want to be next to each other. But how are they being held together? Are they being held together by like some weird magical force or like some mutation, the mutation-y striations? I think that's more closer to like how I would describe it. Is it like what's going on? Are they growing out of one guy, or is this 5 people being morphed together out of some big problem? Do you know what a king rat is? It's when a bunch of rats crawl into a small space, they fuck, and then they have children, and then they poop, and then they pee, and like, but the box is too small. The small space becomes too small because the children grow, and now it's just this big pile of rat that's just like unhappy because they're all glued together, and probably corpses too being glued together, I'd imagine. And then eventually the box breaks and like they're able to crawl around, but they're still glued together by their own shit and piss and carcasses. It's amazing. That's what I was thinking of when I came up with this idea. Did they climb into a small box together, have sex, and then slowly get too big for each other and glue each other together with their own shit and piss? Maybe. This leg is a little irritated. How do we make it look irritated? Dude, just like scribble on it. Just like, I use clay strips and just scribble. Just carve into it. Make some striations. Just how would it look? I don't even know. And so I just played around with it until it looked like something. And that's what I recommend to you. Is like, a lot of my sculptures are sketches. It's just me playing, and I recommend that you play too. Have fun, play around, go goof on it. Like, that's like the best advice I can give to like everyone. Just do shit, and shit will happen. Or something that I found out is if you take a rock texture brush and use it to sculpt into humans, I'd imagine animals too. Anyways, if you make it flesh, if you take the texture that it is, but then paint it flesh, it's now like a road rash, burn, it's gross, it's disgusting. But if you like, imagine like what would flesh look like if it was like all broken into pieces and shit. It kind of looks like rock, if you like gravelly rock, kinda. Or gravelly rock looks like goopy, gross flesh. I don't know, man, but it works. Make little happy faces that just love being together. They're extroverts. They want to be together. They're happy that they're together. Let's express that. Let's show the world that these people are the happiest people on the planet. They're so excited to be here. Okay, so the sculpture's all finished. We got some stuff going on. I think it's pretty cool, and we have ourselves a nice little like aged gold texture. It's really cool. I think it's a lot of fun. If you're interested in knowing how to do this aged gold texture, let me know, and I'll probably do a tutorial on it. So I took it, I put it in a software called Cheeto Box, and it's a 3D slicing software, and I sliced it, and now it's ready to be 3D printed. I'll be using my Lego Mars 2. First we have to zero and level the plate, and it kind of does a lot of this automatically. I'll be using a beige colored resin. Okay, so this print is all finished, but it's still like dirty. It still has like goopy resin on it, and so we need to clean that off. We're gonna put it into an alcohol bath, and it has a little spinny thingy in the bottom, and it goes whoosh, and so that's what's going on, and it's cleaning the resin the uncured resin off of the cured resin. It's not fully hardened yet, so we're gonna put it in front of a UV lamp and it's gonna spin around. It's all covered in supports, and so we gotta clean that off. We're just using little pliers, chipping away. Be careful though, I got 2 pieces stuck in my eye. I recommend wearing eyeglasses when you chip away at your UV resins. It's very, like, they go everywhere. Be careful. They're not fun picking them out of your eye. It's not a good time. The pieces of support that were stuck to the actual sculpture itself will leave like a little chips and little bits that you need to finalize with sandpaper, and we're just gonna clean it up and make it really nice before we begin painting. Once we begin painting, I'm gonna start with a black wash, watered down black acrylic, and you just dab it on all the surfaces, and then we're gonna wipe it off with a paper towel, and that's gonna leave the crevices covered in black, but all the outer parts will stay lighter, and then we're gonna layer this with a bunch of different colors, like red, brown, red, brown again. And then we're gonna start going into blues and grays, because I wasn't sure where I was gonna take this, how much of this was gonna be flesh toned versus the suits, how much, like, how naked were these people, how mutated these guys were gonna be, if the suits were gonna be a part of their skin or not. But I ended up leaving it where they were almost fully covered in their suits still, and I think it turned out really cool. So using black paint as like I call it a wet dry brush. If you know what dry brushing is when you have like barely any paint on your brush and you kind of like brush it over the surface and it kind of like looks kind of scuffed on the surface. If you leave it a little extra damp and then you're careful about the angle of your paintbrush, you can speed up that process, I guess, and get heavier tones, but only on surfaces. And so I took black. If you take black and kind of brush over the surface of like deeper reds, it gives it like this charred, fleshy color, and really sells the effect of like a deep wound. Finishing up this piece, I wanted to leave an impressionist feel, because I want to go back to my roots in like fine art, I guess. And I used to be a painter. I used to consider myself a painter before I was a sculptor, and the type of paintings I would do were impressionist paintings. That's definitely like where I find the most joy. I don't necessarily need it to be an illusion of an object, because it's already fucking tiny, and so I don't need to trick people into thinking that it's a real thing. It's a representation of an idea. And I think that's all it needs to be. I hope you like it. I liked it. It was super fun. Me making it was super fun. I hope it was fun watching me make it. We got to share this experience. It's been a good time. I hope you had a good time. If you made it this far, holy shit. That's crazy. Thank you for watching. That's fucking cool. All right. Goodbye now.